Hi, I'm Rita Cook with Politics and How It Affects You, and I'm here with Jake Ellzey this morning, and he is running for District 10 Republican. And when you win this, if you win this, which, we'll see, and good luck, and so you won't have to do the November. So it's just March 3rd, 2020, when people need to come out to the primaries.
That's right. This is for the Texas House, District 10, which is all of Ellis County and a small portion of Henderson County, and there is no Democrat running. So whoever wins on March 3rd, and hopefully it's a clear-cut winner on March 3rd, no runoff, then whoever wins that will be the next state representative from our district, which will be the first time in 6 years that that's happened. John Ray's leaving after 3 terms. He will still be the state representative until January of 21.
Okay. And I read somewhere that you said that you would only sit in that seat for 10 years when you're elected, if you're elected. Is that the truth?
That was for Congress. When I ran for Congress in 2018, I did say that.
Okay. And
that hasn't come up this time, but
yeah, it has.
Now it has. So I haven't really even thought about it. But
it's not.
Since you brought it up, running for office is not a career. Being in office should not be a career for somebody. But public service has been a way of life for me my entire life. This opportunity was not originally there until July 3rd when I got a phone call. So it became very clear that this is a calling. So not a job. I have a job. I have a profession. I'm an airline pilot. So being in the state house is not a full-paying job. They make $600 a month. So that's not really, that's going to take away from my profession, which is that of an airline pilot. So this is a sacrifice. It'll be a sacrifice for me, which I gladly accept.
Absolutely.
But it is for me and a lot of other state reps who are down in Austin as well. But I love my community and I love my state. So if I have something to offer, then that's why I'm running.
And you are a former U.S. Navy officer and a fighter pilot.
That's right.
And it looks like from the pictures here, this is Jake, that you're still doing this, the fighter pilot thing.
Well, it's still in my blood. I started off flying helicopters after I graduated from the Naval Academy in '92. Did 2 tours in helicopters, got a transition to jets. Flew Tomcats, Super Hornets, and Hornets, had command of a fighter squadron, served a tour of duty on the ground in Iraq with SEAL Team 5. And then ended up my career as air boss on the USS Ronald Reagan aircraft carrier. And once I retired, started flying for the airlines, I wanted to keep my foot in the fighter pilot world, so I'm a part-time contractor fighter pilot, and I'm the bad guy. So for our active duty military who are a lot younger than I am, there's not a whole lot of 50-year-old active duty fighter pilots. But there's a lot of us who are on the contractor side who have a lot of institutional knowledge with how to be a good pilot, and our younger and better active duty fighter pilots get to fly against us. We use the tactics of the enemies or our potential enemies so that they can train against that, so that if it ever does come to fruition that they go into combat again against Russia or China or any number of other adversaries, that they know how to counteract us.
I still think you should take me up and do that with you.
I get that a lot.
You're getting in trouble, right?
I get that a lot.
Okay, so
it's a single-seat aircraft, so.
Let's talk about what you want to see change, some of the things that you have ideas of going in if you're elected.
Well, first of all, every 10 years with the census, as you know, there's a redistricting that comes along every 10 years. This session going in is going to be one of those sessions. With the population growth in Texas and with Ellis County in specific, we look to gain 3 congressional districts. Then we have to redistrict the county commission precincts. Then we also have to redistrict the Senate and House seats as well. So with the population growth of Ellis County, which we are supposed to be hitting around 200,000 as of this month in Ellis County alone, that massive population growth will probably ensure that this seat, District 10 seat, will probably just encompass Ellis County next, the follow-on session. And I think that's a good thing. As a rule, the redistricting is meant to keep counties whole. And I know that those folks, that the 8% of the vote in Henderson County, are very interested in being rejoined with Henderson County, so Keith Bell can serve them as their state representative. To have a county split in half doesn't do that small group any good, and I think it's a good thing to achieve. So with redistricting in mind, that's something that comes on about first. So with 140 days, usually it's a mad rush to get the things that you have to get done done on time. You add the redistricting to it, and now you're adding an unknown quantity to how you get that done.
Sure.
There's very few members in the House this session that were around in 2011 who did that redistricting.
Okay.
So this could be an interesting time. So I think it's essential that whoever this district elects is going to have to be someone who's been involved in leadership their whole lives.
Okay.
And I have. I've been since I went to the Navy. You're being led and you're leading.
Yeah, you're
the
leading.
entire time.
You're definitely leading part of the country.
So you learn a lot about how to lead folks and to follow.
Okay.
You can't lead first without following first.
True.
Lead without following first. And so going in as a freshman, you have to earn a lot of allies through mutual respect and recognizing that you got to be on the team first before you can be the team captain. So I'm not striving to be the team captain. All I'm saying is we got to get those things done and then go after the things that still need fixing within the state and that have to be provided for.
So what are a couple of other things that you feel like are important? I think you mentioned education before we went live.
Since the founding of the Republic of Texas, public education funding has always been a difficult thing to deal with, and they've never gotten along in trying to do it, and it seems like every session there are problems with properly funding public education. The funding of public education and providing for it, a free public education for all citizens of Texas, is in the Constitution of the state.
Okay, right, okay.
So it's a requirement that we take care of that.
Sure.
So ensuring that we continue to do that is one of my priorities.
Okay.
The counter to that is property taxes are generally the way that we pay for state funding of public education.
Right.
Which, as most people in this district know, and as I go door to door and we take data on what is bothering most people in this community, it's the high cost of property taxes.
Okay.
John Ray and his group did, and the legislature last session went a long way towards addressing rates. Now we have to address the appraisal boards.
Okay.
Because they have gotten out of control. So if you have a rate set this much, but your property taxes are shooting through the roof, it doesn't help you any.
Okay.
So those things need to be addressed. So property taxes, since I'm representing this district,
right,
overwhelmingly,
important.
The people in this district are upset about their property taxes. And as you know, once you hit 65, everybody jokingly says, well, they froze my property taxes.
Right.
Well, okay, that's fine, but it's still probably too high.
Right.
And as you get into your years of not working and retirement, if you own your house outright, should you still be renting that house from the state? Absolutely not.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because that's what you're doing. If you're paying property taxes but the house is paid off, you're renting it.
Right. So nobody ever really owns their house because they don't own the land that it's on.
And we're the number 3 highest property tax rate state in the union.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow, okay.
That's correct.
Interesting.
New Jersey's number 1, and I don't want to be that close to New Jersey in any way, shape, or form.
Well, everybody wants to move here because there's no state tax, but then if you're paying other taxes that are like balancing that out, then I guess, yeah.
And when everybody moves here, they buy property here.
Right.
Therefore, surrounding property taxes go up because the appraisals go up.
So, okay, so you're going to go do something about that. You're going to work on that.
Well, here's what I do tell people. As one of 150 and a freshman, I'm not going to make promises I can't keep.
Good.
I don't promise anything, but I sure work hard.
Yes.
Again, you have to go back to making allies, friends who are of like mind, who recognize the importance of this statewide, and so you have to work closely with them and hopefully get things done.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say? We have about a minute left, so.
Well, the second most important issue to the citizens of Ellis County is the high-speed rail.
Okay.
And Cody Harris has endorsed me, and he's out of Palestine, and he is another state representative right now who is opposed to the high-speed rail.
Okay.
It's very near and dear to everybody in Ellis County's heart, and it is to me too.
Okay.
And I will do everything I can to defeat the high-speed rail. It is not mass transit.
Yeah, right.
And they're trying to get the government to execute eminent domain for a private business.
Okay.
So
maybe we'll have you come on and talk about that soon. I'd love to have a conversation about that. Okay, we have 1 minute left. You're being endorsed by Governor Greg Abbott.
Governor Abbott.
Congratulations on that.
And Texas Alliance for Life.
All right, so Jake Ellzey and March 3rd, 2020, thank you for coming on. And let's see, how can people find you? Do you have a website that's easy enough?
ElzeyforTexas.com.
There you go. I'm Rita Cook with Politics and How It Affects You. Thank you, Jake.
Thank you.